Welcome to the Grand Carolinian. Let's go check out the lobby. And we're met with my very needy golden retriever, per usual. Peep my very messy playroom. Okay, welcome. So today I'm going to talk you through what we have already done here in the lobby of the Grand Carolinian. Everything that we DIY'd and then everything that we hired out. So when you walk in, you are met with just the most beautiful curved staircase. And so I'll actually start here. Well, let me show you. I'm going to put some clips in so you can see what the before looked like. This home was built in 1971. It was very beautiful. I know that a lot of people were upset that we removed the wallpaper, but it just was a little too dated, and we wanted to honor the traditional elements of the home and still keep it a traditional and classic home, but we still wanted to update it and also bring some light in here because this entryway is very, very dark. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But let's start with the staircase. So we have the beloved curved staircase. We actually did have to come in and replace all of the stair treads and then remove the banister and replace all of the spindles. So that was not in our original plan. We went way over budget here in the entryway, but it's the first thing you see when you walk in. So I think it was worth it. We did have to hire this part out. So originally there were the carpeted green stairs, the green carpeted stairs going up. Our original plan was just to remove the carpet and then refinish the stair treads. However, when we did that, we ran into two problems. First problem is that the stair treads were in terrible shape and we didn't think that it was worth refinishing them. The second problem is that because the carpet was so high pile, the spindles would not reach. So we were going to have to get new spindles. So our contractor was like, listen, if you're gonna have to get all new spindles and take the banister out, you might as well just go ahead and bite the bullet and do the expense for the extra stair treads. So we replaced all of the stair treads. My father-in-law did stain them for us. He has stained furniture pretty much all of his life. He runs a church pew company. They build church pews. So he is used to stain. So he came and stained the stairs for us. We have talked about potentially putting up a carpeted runner up the stairs, but we have not been able to commit to that yet. So we're just gonna leave it as is for now. This is the original banister that is in pieces. So it is honestly not the most stable thing in the world, but it's good for what it is and how old it is. And then we replaced all of the spindles and we did keep the traditional style. We had thought about doing like something a little more modern, but we were like, you know what? We need to honor this traditional home. So that's what we chose to do. So that was our big project here. And then I'll give you a little, we did replace, and these are actually already going to be replaced again. I ordered some new ones, but the sconce lights. And then I'm gonna kind of like, I know this is gonna make you sick. If you see that big wagon wheel chandelier, there was a different chandelier. Hold on, okay, I'll pan out this way so you can see. So there was a different original chandelier in this room and it's beautiful. You'll see it in the original. We did keep it and we do plan on putting it back up. However, it was mounted up here where this wagon wheel chandelier is that we now have. And then it was hooked to hang right here, like in the entryway. And then they had a flush mount light. Not this one, we added that one in. But the problem is that when you're walking up the staircase, you could easily grab on to the crystal chandelier. And when you have a 4 and 5-year-old, absolutely not. So we knew that that was gonna be a problem. We didn't want them to break it. So we removed it, and when they get a little bit older, we will put that back. I don't know what we'll do with this light. I don't know if this light will be too much with the chandelier, but we'll revisit that when we get there. So we did remove all of the wallpaper. We also removed all of the popcorn ceilings, and then I did install all of the wallpaper myself. We went with this wallpaper from Chasing Paper. It's called Ticking Tulip Stripe. It is a faux grass cloth, so it's very easy to keep clean. And I felt like it really was still traditional with some personality, but it still like felt like it belonged in the home. And it also wasn't anything that was going to be too busy to compete with our Mickey Mouse room and our other wallpaper that we have in here. So again, I'll show you those later, but I love this wallpaper. I get tons of compliments on it. It's one of my favorite parts of the house. I'm just so thrilled and happy with the wallpaper choice. The next big thing to note is the floor, and just ignore all of our golden retriever dust bunnies. But this is a slate floor, which I love. When I first walked into the house, I was so happy. I have actually always loved slate floor. And so when I saw that this house had slate, my jaw dropped and I was like, this is perfect. However, after being here for a while, it is very dark in here. And I feel like at first I really liked the contrast that it brought, but now I feel like it's just competing way too much. So I had originally ordered this checkerboard tile from Edward Martin when we first moved in for another room in the house. Then we found out that that room actually had recoverable and restorable hardwood floors. So I have all of that tile sitting in my garage. So I think we're going to repurpose and put it in here. I'll be honest, at first I was reluctant because I am nervous about this tile being too trendy and that it's going to be out of date soon. And I feel like the slate is timeless, but I also just feel like the slate doesn't fit in this space anymore. We do have the slate in the back, on the back patio, and then in the front, in the walkway. So I feel like I still will be able to keep some of my slate, but I just feel like in this room, it's just too competing. It's also very much giving Polynesian vibes. If you've been to the Disney's Polynesian Resort, the lobby floor is slate and it's beautiful, but this entryway, we're going for more of like a Grand Floridian vibe. And so I think the white and tan marble will really look great here. So a couple of other things that we had done professionally, because it's so dark in here, we did have some can lights installed just to be able to brighten up this space, especially at nighttime and as we have guests over, for them to comfortably be able to walk out of the house. Because like I said, it's very dark, and I'm sure you can kind of tell a little bit from the lighting in here. We're like at mid-prime day, and this is about as light as it gets. So that brings me to my next thing, is that we do plan on replacing this front door. I would love to get a double front door instead of having the skylight panes. I think they're called skylight panes. I don't remember exactly what they're called, but having the two panels on either side and the door in the middle, I think we'll just do a double door. And I really would like to get something that's straight glass so it lets a lot more light in. And that's another reason why we haven't gone ahead and changed the floors yet, because I do want to go ahead and get a new front door before we put doors in. I feel like it should be okay, but it's also a very expensive swap that I want to make sure that before we put the tile in, that the door is in and then the tile goes in, just to make sure that we've got a seamless fit and everything is fine. And you can see that they definitely changed this door like recently. I don't know how recently, but you can just tell with the new trim, and they really like kind of custom did their own trim. So you have like your regular piece here, and they added this thick like 2-inch board here. And I just feel like by the time you take all of this out, it actually might be possible to get a bigger double door in here. So that is also on our list for the lobby. Hopefully that lightened this up for you a little bit more, but let me show you the other thing that unfortunately we had to do professionally. So we have two closets in here, one on this side. This side is for all of the kids, like arts and crafts and art supplies. We do have their activity room right here. So all of their crafts and stuff like that are stored right here. My daughter's bathroom is right above this. And unfortunately, her toilet leaked very, very bad. And we were actually not using her bathroom. We had actually turned the toilet off because we were in the process of remodeling, or we were planning on remodeling her bathroom. And well, I guess somebody felt that that needed to be expedited because her toilet leaked. It came all the way down in here. And so we had to gut this closet, do all new sheetrock, all new paint, all new everything, pretty much all new insulation. And then put the ceiling back up, and then they had to refinish her bathroom, obviously. So this closet is not a fun upgrade, but a necessary one. Okay, and then over here, I'll just show you this closet. This is just a cedar closet. So we have our coats in here, and then unfortunately I have a lot of random stuff that I probably need to declutter. Okay, so let me show you the entryway table, just decor that I have real quick. This table is actually from Wayfair. The urn is from Wayfair, and I was inspired by the Grand Floridian because if you didn't know, the Grand Floridian urn, when you first walk in and all of the fresh florals, they update them daily. So they're taking out any old flowers, they're replacing them with fresh florals every single day. I definitely do not do that. These are all faux, but I do different arrangements for each season. As you can tell, I'm still decorated for Easter over here. I will get to that eventually, but I do decorate this entryway table seasonally. Also have these beautiful brass frames from Kirkland's that just have some black and whites of the kids. And so this is the overview of the lobby of the Grand Carolinian. I hope you love it. I do, again, plan on changing the floors. We'll get a nice rug, a new front door, and then she will be complete. And then for the stairwell, something I also have been working on and curating is this big wall that goes up. I am curating a huge, massive gallery wall. So that will also be coming soon. So thank you all for joining. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to see all of the rest of the work that we're doing in the house.